Hello friends, I hope you are well. Happy new financial year. I wish you all the best on your tax returns. May the dollars sprinkle down. Forced savings, as I call it. Speaking of wake-up calls, you are not dreaming. This is an episode of the Dirt Report on July the 2nd, 2023. I don't usually put dates in, but why not today? Why not start now? It has been a while, and no promises can be made for continuation of every Sunday. Life just gets in the way of fun. But today, life has taken a pause, or at least a beating. Unlike Combank's systems last week, we can serve you today with some great stories. Welcome to the Dirt Report, the tech and telco news show from around Australia and its territories. Is New Zealand a territory in Australia? Is that a question I should be asking? Today we have Optus and ICAC's nominee for Serious Misconduct 2022. The ACCC says all is well on the NBN front, is it? And lastly, RSB Launtel asks NBN for some more updates. Make sure to like this video if you did subscribe to support us. Let's get started by rolling the intro. It's hard not to dwell on former New South Wales Premier's current career outlook. It's looking pretty darn cushy. If my last employer found me corrupt or of bad character or guilty of misconduct, I can imagine the amount of companies that would be lining up to hire me after a public debacle like that. Well, maybe nothing was proven yet. The investigation will probably take years, so there was plenty of time for the former New South Wales Premier, Miss Gladys Berejiklian, to get high-paying executive roles before ICAC comes knocking. According to the ICAC media release on Thursday, the 29th of June 2023, the New South Wales Independent Commission Against Corruption has found that the former Premier of New South Wales, Gladys Berejiklian, and the former Member of Parliament for Wagga Wagga, Daryl Maguire, have engaged in serious corrupt conduct. So, which enterprising company welcomed the former Premier with open arms pending an ICAC investigation? Well, the company that has only months ago been the center of attention of a massive data breach and just this weekend, literally last night, caught up in another major cyber attack where sensitive information about a privacy watchdog investigation into the mobile phone company was breached by Russian hackers. More on that when we actually learn the full details. Well, if you look back in the all-internet time machine, on February 11, 2022, Optus CEO Kelly Bayer-Rosemarin announced the appointment of Gladys Berejiklian to the Optus executive team in a new role as Managing Director, Enterprise, Business and Institutional, and said this: to deliver on our vision, we need to think and do things differently, and we need to attract amazing people who bring diverse experiences and new ways to think in our industry. So I am thrilled to announce that Gladys Berejiklian will join our talented and experienced executive team to help transform our approach to business customers. Now, I get people have skills, connections, and the like, and a business would be pretty stoked to have a former premier on their payroll. But maybe I'm also under the illusion that most businesses would do a bit of the old background check. Maybe note if there is, maybe a pending ICAC investigation that may have caused said person to leave their political career that you're so fond of hiring because of what they did there. Looking at online chatter, this week's announcement from ICAC has put some Optus customers off, especially when the media continues to talk about where the former Premier is now working. And building trust back in the brand doesn't quite work when there is an executive who has now been officially found to be corrupt. More on that in a second. Now, according to The Australian, Optus has publicly backed the former Premier, despite her role requiring she handle highly sensitive government contracts. However, in the defense of Optus, in a roundabout way, the Commission is not considering laying criminal charges against Ms. Berejiklian for any offence. After all, she's basically been found guilty of pork barreling and not revealing a lover on paper. An Optus spokesperson said, Optus acknowledges that ICAC report published in relation to Gladys Berejiklian, time serving as a member of New South Wales Parliament. We refer you to Gladys's media statement and have no further comments to make. Furthermore, the process of ICAC has come under scrutiny following the announcement, particularly from some of Ms. Berejiklian's closest political allies. But you also have to remember the New South Wales political party that these allies sit in or are part of cut ICAC's budget 2 years ago, reducing the watchdog's capabilities and speed. It's crazy to think that ICAC's funding specifics are controlled by the very same body it could or will has now investigated for corruption. Now, these topics are way beyond me. Check out Friendly Geordies. I'm sure he'll have a video about that in full. Let's leave that there, but do let me know your thoughts below. Does this change the way you view Optus? Has the new or the recent or the previous data breach affected your opinions of the company? Next up, the ACCC's Measuring Broadband Australia for June 2023 has dropped, and it's the hottest mixtape out there. I kid you not. Bit of context, the Measuring Broadband Australia program provides information on the real-world performance of broadband plans. You see, the program aims to better understand how Australians are experiencing the internet performance in their homes, provide Australian consumers with accurate and independent information about broadband performance to assist their purchasing decisions, and encourage greater performance-based competition and better internet performance. So here are some highlights from the report. Performance during busy evening hours across the states were pretty darn good. Consistency of the speeds ranged from 90.9% to 101%, meaning they went above and beyond of the download speed the person signed up to. If it's 50, it's 100, whatever it might be. More on that in a second, keep that in mind. Now, on the other side, for upload, 81.2% during busy hours and 87.7% on the high end. The upload was a bit of a disappointment. Now, download speeds have been trending towards that 100% over the last 5 years if you look back, so that's a very big positive. Now, average daily outages, latency, and web page loading results for each RSP were in line with the results from previous reports, as were packet loss results across NBN services, so nothing has changed there. But the average daily rate of outages on NBN plans were 0.3 outages per day, as 94% of households experienced fewer than one outage per day, and 54% of outages did not last longer than 3 minutes. Now, outages were likely to have had little material impact on end user experience. Those 3 minutes probably wouldn't have been noticed and would have happened during an off-peak time anyway. Then on the NBN fixed wireless side, services attained an average download speed of performance of 109.9% for download speeds. How awesome. That's during all hours though, decreasing to 86.2% during busy hours. This is across the 50 down and 20 up and the 25 down and 5 up plans. And these results are in line with previous reports. Now, NBN fixed wireless services attained an average upload performance of 75.5% of plan speeds during all hours, decreasing to 60.5% during busy hours. Oh, that's quite a big difference. Now, in the previous report, average upload performance during all hours was 73% of plan speeds, decreasing to 58.7% during busy hours. So it's actually an improvement, but 60% is still, it's quite a big difference. Overall, fixed line services are doing well, and while NBN wireless is lagging behind, leaving the door open for services like Starlink, it's still good. But do note that these results are a subset of the total users on the network, and while a great indicator, not necessarily the reality that a lot of people could face. Lastly, let's talk Launtel. You may have seen CTO Damon Ivory on this channel previously. Damon has been the voice of reason for a lot of NBN's shenanigans and has even shared his thoughts with us here before. And this time again has brought the hammer of logic down. In a public response to NBN's proposal concerning speed tier pricing and service standards, the CTO of Launtel said, "We mostly support NBN's proposal changes to the 50 down, 20 up speed tier pricing and the introduction of the floor and ceiling approach to limit the price variation of this service. We do, however, question if for Launtel at least, it is worth us continuing to provide the 50 down 20 up speed tier to our customers at all." Launtel is calling out the wholesale pricing of AVC for both 50/20 and 100/20 as it is the same, meaning why bother selling the 50 down when the 100 down wholesale cost is the same, so the customer gets potentially better performance for the same price. The document continues. The problem Launtel has in selling the 120 up speed tier is that due to the deficiencies in the mixed technology that some customers experience, many customers' lines won't support anywhere close to 100 megabits a second. And then many customers, for obvious reasons, strongly object to paying for a speed tier they cannot actually achieve. So we end up having to sell them a 50 down 20 up regardless of their possibly high usage. But this may as well be a shaped down 100 down, 20 up plan. At least that would allow us to give them a free fiber to the premises upgrade should that be available to them. Because remember, if you want to get the upgrade, you have to be on the higher plans. Damien continues, it appears to us that long-term NBN really wants to make the 100 down 20 up tier the standard speed that most people buy, much as the 50 down 20 up is now. We assume NBN has realized it pretty much costs them the same to supply a 50 and 20 service versus 121. So by bringing their prices closer together, they're passing on this lack of cost difference and looking to at least slightly raise their ARPU. I have linked the full response below. There is a lot more there and definitely worth the read. Something to keep in mind when choosing your speed tier on the NBN, but I think the point would be quite the dilemma for ACCC's Measuring Broadband Australia report, because if all of a sudden customers who are on the 50 down plan now on paper have the 100 down, but can never reach it due to their MTM line speeds, well, they'll fall into a basket where their line is now bringing down the average and the numbers might not start looking as good as the report has been so far. So this could be a little bit of an issue for ACCC and NBN. And on that note, we have to end this episode. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know your thoughts below. As always, if you made it this far, you might as well smash the like button. And if you've even made it to this point right now, then damn son, you might as well have the fortitude to subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you all in another one. Bye!